It's nearing the end of 2023, and Will Bosi is still hard at work projecting a 9B plus sport climb and an 8C plus boulder. I'm talking about the sport climb Excalibur 9B plus or 515C, which received its first ascent from Stefano Ghisolfi in February. As for Will's boulder project, it's Terranova 8C plus or V16, which was first ascended by Adamandra back in 2011 when he was a teenager. Both of these projects have not seen any ascents in the months or years since the first ascent. But as we found out on Burden of Dreams, Will Bosi is pretty darn good at repeating insanely hard climbs. In this video, we'll take a look at Will Bosi's progress on Excalibur and Terranova, including ascend of Nova, which is a sit start into the second half of Terranova. We'll also discuss a unique way in which Will Bosi is keeping the climbing community up to date on his projects, and it's more than just a live stream this time. My name is August. Let's kick things off with Excalibur. This climb exists on a roughly 40-degree overhanging face near Stefano Ghisolfi's hometown of Arco, Italy. Bosi describes the climb as 18 really cool moves of pure power endurance. In some ways, Excalibur looks like several Burden of Dreams boulders stacked on top of each other. Seeing photos and videos of this rock face, it really strikes me as quite blank, but Stefano Ghisolfi proved in February that it is possible to climb. Bosi began projecting this route with Ghisolfi back in December of 2022, just a couple of months prior to the first ascent. On this first trip, Bosi got 5 days of projecting and was able to make significant progress doing all of the moves individually in the first session. Then later, he linked the first half of the route and most of the moves on the top half. After this trip, Will expressed his desire to get back to Arco soon. In July, we saw Will preparing to return to Excalibur by training on a replica. I mean, replica training helped him send Burden of Dreams, so why not Excalibur as well? Though of course it would be tricky to simulate the whole thing, so Bosi focused on replicating the upper crux of the route. It involves a 2-finger pocket with the left hand and a high heel hook with the right foot to then get up to an undercling with the right hand. On July 30th, Will Bosi wrote on Instagram, "Back on the Excalibur 9B plus replica. Definitely a while until it's back in condition, but psych is high to be ready." And Stefano dubbed him a new superhero, Repliman. Hopefully Marvel will make a new series out of it. Now let's fast forward to October to see what progress Will is making on the real Excalibur. On October 23rd, Will writes, "Back in Arco to try Excalibur 9B plus or 515C. I've been met with a lot of rain, but I'll hopefully get my first session back later today. Hopefully the replica training will pay off." And this is a photo from last year by Stefano Ghisolfi. Then continuing to October 27th, Will says, "The cube move. Days 6/7 on Excalibur done. Unfortunately, weather hasn't been good, so I've only managed 2 sessions so far this trip, both of which I could only try the first part. I feel like the start is coming together though, so I'm hoping the top will dry soon." We can see Will on this cube move in Stefano's video from earlier this year, bringing up the right foot, dropping the left foot, and masterfully sticking that right hand on a not so great looking crimp. Next, we see Bosi post about the section of Excalibur that he replicated. Let's see if his replica training paid off. On October 31st, Will writes, "Felt really strong on my last/only session on the top part of Excalibur." We see Will holding that 2-finger pocket, high right heel hook, and then what? He chalks up mid-crux. And I'm not the only one impressed. Alex Migos comments, "This is one of the most impressive things I've ever seen. Everyone who has tried this move will know." So the replica training appears to be helping Will Bosi yet again. However, he ends this post on a bit of a sad note, but tells us what's next, saying, "Sad to be leaving Arco with the rain, but excited to be heading back to the Czech Republic for Terranova." Though Will did not conduct any live streams while in Arco, He was sharing project updates through a broadcast channel on Instagram. The group is called Will's Whispers, and you can join it through his Instagram profile. I believe it's only available through the mobile app, but definitely go check it out. Will provided additional context in this group about just how bad the weather was, and shared some fun photos like this one. Ultimately, because of the forecast for continued rain in Arco, Will decided to drive over to sunnier skies in the Czech Republic for Terranova. And that's what we get to talk about next. But real quick, if you're enjoying this video, please be sure to subscribe to show your support for this small channel. I have a lot of fun putting these videos together, and I always enjoy hearing from you in the comments as well. Now on to Terranova, which is a funky, crimpy leftward traverse at the base of a mostly sport climbing crag in the Czech Republic. While it may not be the most beautiful line in the world, there's no disputing its difficulty. Adam Ondra himself explained, this boulder is foremost about its difficulty. 2 climbers are currently on site trying to repeat Terranova, UK climber Will Bosi, of course, and Czech climber Jana Švecová, who goes by Jane Climbs on YouTube. Both Will and Jane were projecting Terranova back in September as well, and you can find out more about that trip in this video. Let's take a look at their current progress. On November 4th, Jane shared on Instagram, "My best day on Terranova so far. I love the process because of the days like this." Here, Jane starts partway into the boulder problem and establishes a really impressive link, what she calls her longest link yet. Then from November 5th on Instagram, Will writes, "Back on Terranova 8C+/V16 and back off again. Although leaving Excalibur was sad, I'm really psyched to be trying this beast again." There's this double dry fire here from Will where both of his hands come off nearly simultaneously. We also see in the comments from James739M saying still V16 ? And Will replies, "That's the question. More time is needed to tell for sure." So Terranova has the potential to be harder than what Adam Ondra originally graded it, and time will tell. In Will's YouTube video of this first session back on Terranova, we see that he focused on relearning moves, practicing some short links, and trying potential new beta. He also got in 3 attempts on Nova, a sit start that leads into the second half of Terranova. Nova was FA'd by Jane in June as an intermediate goal while she was projecting Terranova. Jane graded Nova 8B+ or V14, and Will has been attempting to repeat it. And on November 7th, Will shared this exciting news. Nova 8C/V15 ? Super happy to send this boulder yesterday. Nova is basically a sit start into the second half of Terranova and has taken me 6 sessions to complete. Originally graded 8B+ or V14, I think it deserves an upgrade as it took more work and days than all the other 8Cs I've climbed in the Czech Republic so far. I'd also like to think it suits my style and it's limestone crimping, so I think that factors in. Hopefully it will see some more repeats soon and we get more opinions. Now time to try and put the whole line together. So Will is the first to repeat Nova and gives it this upgrade to 8C or V15. If the grade stands, this places Jane into a small group of women who have climbed this grade. In my research, I found that to date, only 7 women have climbed an 8C or V15 boulder. Here's the list I compiled. If I missed anyone, definitely let me know in the comments. But regardless of where the grade settles, definitely check out Jane's video of her Nova first ascent over on the @JaneClimbs channel. And this is not the end of the story because on November 8th, Will and Jane went live on Will's YouTube channel for another session on Terranova. This time with the goal of the session to get the climb in 3 parts. Will started off the session super strong. He attempted the boulder from the beginning, and for a moment it looked like he was just gonna keep on going. You can see how happy he was with that attempt, and he provided some context afterward by saying, "I've never even got vaguely close to linking that many of the moves together." So clearly Will Bosi is making progress on Terranova. And then mid-session, Will made another attempt starting the boulder partway in, basically omitting the first 5 moves and starting from this high heel hook. He powered his way through, sticking each of the moves with such precision and linked it all the way to the end of the boulder. With these 2 links, Will exceeded his goal for the session, basically sending the boulder in 2 parts. Toward the end of the session, Will gave this close-up walkthrough tour of the holds on Terranova. This was really cool to see and helped provide some key context for just how difficult this boulder is. It definitely gave me a whole nother level of respect for Will, Jane, and of course Adamandra, who originally sent this boulder. Toward the end of the live stream, Will indicated that he will likely get 1 more session on Terranova before needing to return to the UK. This session will likely be on Friday, November 10th, and Will indicated he may do another live stream for this session. Definitely check out Will's YouTube channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of his live streams. Will Jane or Will manage to repeat Terranova in 2023? Will we have to wait until 2024 to see Ascend? Let me know your prediction in the comments. My name is August, and thank you so much for watching.